Okay, everyone, we're back with our third and final playthrough, or part of this playthrough of Resident Evil 2 Claire A campaign, or should I say, of Claire's A campaign of
Resident Evil 2.
There we go, all about that timing. So this part, based on what we have left, is going to be a little bit longer, but we'll get through the whole thing in one go. Commentary, as usual, going to be mainly focused on design and development choices and campaign differences, with a little bit of extra.
My stomach hurts.
Hang in there, Sherry. Her forehead's burning up. I've got to hurry before the embryos pupate.
The thing I always find strange about that particular comment is, how does Claire know that William actually found her? Did she see the little kind of weevil thingy sliding away when she found Sherry? And speaking of William, Claire's proper second boss. What did that take us? 7 shots? Wasn't too bad.
Sherry.
Claire?
Oh, you're finally awake.
Isn't this...
That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe.
Thank you, Claire. Even though I'm an only child, neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. I grew up alone, but now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry. Rest here for a bit. I'll be right back, as soon as I found the antidote for you.
Obviously, the game is programmed based on actually keeping your main costume. And as we saw in our previous Claire B, her costume does slightly change, since Sherry has the jacket. Now, this one's going to be a little bit dangerous, but let's get it done. Scratch that, I forgot something. So we need to come back in with the lighter. Something I thought we could get away without. Whoa. Was not paying attention and they just came out of nowhere. We're going to do this a little bit unorthodox. Let's see if I can manage it with the inventory space. I'm just trying to calculate this whole thing. No. Bad footage. Stop messing up. I'm just gonna give it a second just to make sure. Okay. It didn't like the flames for some reason. And notice we didn't hit the BOW gas this time, so let's see if there's any differences. Nothing. They're still big, horrible, upgraded liquors. Who almost killed me? So that begs the question, did that actually weaken them? Did they take surprisingly a lot to kill? Okay, I'm paying the price for trying to be a little unorthodox. Okay, we're gonna go back to doing everything properly. And by comparison, 2 quick flame shots and he's down. I mean, it makes sense that they're weak to fire, but still. I forgot this room was here. At least he's out of the way for later. Not a bad find, even if it's not custom Magnum parts. Arguably the next best thing. In a slight variation from Leon A and Claire A, or even Claire B for that matter, Claire actually has to go back to that room.
Annette!
You killed William. I'll never forgive you for that.
Wait!
I've just prepared a sample of the G-Virus, and this time, no one will take it from me. This is the most significant piece of research my husband has ever left in my hands.
Stop it! Sherry's in serious trouble. William implanted her with his embryos. There's no telling when they'll pupate. And if that happens, then Sherry won't...
What? William... is still alive. He's getting stronger with each skin he casts off. Sherry!
Tell me what I need to know. How can I save Sherry?
I have detailed information. Everything you need to know to prepare the antidote is right here. Save my daughter. And tell her I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother. Tell her I love her. Sherry.
Annette!
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
And that whole thing that we just saw basically references what I was talking about. The fact that we need to go back there. Because it's up to Claire to save Sherry. Register our fingerprint because we're going to take advantage of that door in our next campaign playthrough. If you're wondering what I mean by that door, I'll explain it when we get there.
Never mind that right now. Leon, I have to go back and get Sherry from me. I left her in the security office. Please, you must save her.
Wait a second. What are you gonna do? Where are you going?
I still have a few loose ends to take care of. I'm counting on you.
couldn't remember how to do that for a second.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform. All employees proceed to the bottom platform. All employees proceed to the bottom platform. All employees.
Now, and here's this door I was talking about. So if you're not familiar with this door and you haven't watched the previous playthroughs, this is a two-person door. So we've already registered Claire's fingerprint for access as one person. So we need a second. Of course, our second one won't work if it's Claire again. So what we actually need to do is we need to come back here during the Leon B campaign, register his fingerprint, and then he can get access to the room, being the second fingerprint.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform. 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 All employees proceed to the bottom platform.
And the vaccine replaces Claire's key item of the lockpick, which is handy. It's one extra inventory space.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform. 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 Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. All employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, all employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat,
Okay, I forgot she was gone.
proceed to the bottom.
I could have sworn I had to come back and get her and bring her to the Modisk area.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform. Repeat, 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 all employees proceed to the bottom platform. All employees proceed to the bottom platform.
5 minutes until detonation.
Proceed to the bottom platform. All employees proceed to the bottom platform.
And the trademark beast mode. William. Enough damage, second phase time. Only very slightly difficult. Just because he can move a lot faster and jump around. Come on, jump down. See, jumping around like that can be problematic. Let's go with fire. They're just easier to shoot. But since he's all up close, see, this is what I mean, is he's only slightly more difficult, really. I'm just kind of tanking it. If you compare that to how we did on our Leon A playthrough, you'll see what it's actually supposed to be done like. Or even then, that was still kind of just half-assing it.
All employees proceed to the bottom platform.
Sherry's unconscious.
I have the antidote. If I give it to her.
Claire, what's happening?
Not now. Come on, Sherry, wake up. Wake up. Please wake up.
Claire? Where am I?
It worked!
Oh, Sherry, you're gonna be okay.
Thanks, Claire.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
Ah, my God has protected you. It will always be with you.
Claire.
Sherry.
So there we have the end of our third Resident Evil 2 playthrough. This one being our Claire A, after already having done Leon A and Claire B. So next up we're going to have Leon B, which is what happens from Leon's perspective at the exact same time in parallel to what we just did during Claire A. So basically, the way we've seen a lot of the stuff happen is how most of it's going to play out. There is going to be some different stuff simply because B campaigns are different to A campaigns in general, and B campaigns, not just B, but the fact that a Leon and Claire difference is also going to come into play as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if you haven't seen them before, or if you haven't checked out the previous one, to compare it across, because it'll finally complete our quartet of playthroughs. Wow, never thought I'd use quartet in a sentence that wasn't involved in the Commodore 64 game. So, we're almost done. It's been a bit of a trip, considering that it's always, I know I say it every time, but it's always a pleasure to play the legendary Resident Evil games, the original legendary Resident Evil trilogy. Most people hate the third one, not too fond of it. I don't consider it anywhere near as good as the first two, but it's still a good game. It's still good enough, even if it did originally start as a spin-off. But we'll talk more about that during our inevitable Resident Evil 3 playthrough. In the meantime, though, it's refreshing to come back from modern games and play through these classics with everyone one more time. Now, before we get on, there's obviously our legendary and infamous and famous, or whatever way you want to look at it, Shinji Mikami, who is usually credited as the father of Resident Evil, the father of survival horror in some aspects. Some also credit him for. So let's see, we're going to have our rating system. What are we going to get? I'm suspecting an A rank, 2 saves, probably about 3 hours and 5 minutes. I'm going to go between 3 hours and 5 and 3 hours and 10. It was a little bit faster than our previous one, at least on our Leon A, or so it felt. Let's see how it goes. If we do commit it under 3 hours, we'll get a special no, we won't get a special unlock, because that requires an S rank. So let's see, we have... Okay, there we go. We have an A rank, Claire A, 252.26, faster than I expected. And I can actually, I won't say if I throw in a bit more practice, but if I hone down what I used to be able to do, I can actually get that down to under 2.5 hours to get all unlocks in a single playthrough, no saves, with an S rank. That would give us all 3 saves, or all 3 specials, including the Gatling gun, the rocket launcher, and the submachine gun, although we already have the submachine gun. So here we have it. There's our Leon B save data. That will have us good to go on our next playthrough. So that's it. We've finished up our Claire A. We're all ready to go on Leon B. Yeah, I don't really know what to say to that. Tune in on next time for our final 4th playthrough of Resident Evil 2 Leon B campaign, to see what happens in parallel to what just happened with our Claire A, including some crazy stuff from a B campaign and crazy stuff from a Leon campaign.